man, I could have restarted, but I couldn't do it. I'm dying right now. Oh, Brookie Nation, I'm a mess. How are you? Because I'm unwell. Isla made me laugh really hard right before, like I already hit record.
I'm here, don't worry.
Oh my god, okay. Hello, hi, hello. I am the Mackie Mouse.
Hi, my name is Isla Sikorski.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed you are. And this is Storybook Circus, a Once Upon a Time podcast. Thank you for joining us for episode 27. We are very happy to have you here today. Okay, I don't need to share this at all, but this show is just usually 4 hours of me sharing things I don't need to share. I moved my mixer within arm's reach, and this is the first episode. I showed Isla via webcam that I have
Girl
everything.
boss energy.
Yeah, I have everything like right at my fingertips, so I can
He is owning his own time.
That's right, I can get to these sound effects so much faster.
It's his own boss.
Boom. I know none of you care about that, but I was having to YouTube knows. Hey, we're filming a YouTube. I forgot to mention that. Hello, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
know,
You probably
Harper
just saw my Harper Jane.
Harper said hi.
She gave me a picture.
Oh my God, trash. It's me. It's a picture, a portrait of me.
It's a picture of me. And there's her, my son.
Oh my God. Well, the YouTube was...
Sorry, guys. We're just kind of in like a silly, goofy mood because a week from today, I'm going to be on vacation.
Hey.
So by default, Mackie is also on vacation a week from today because I'm going to be in the same town as her.
Accurate. And I will be with her a lot, which is like pretty much the most exciting thing that's going on in our immediate future. But yeah, anyway, I was saying that the YouTube got to see me reach over a lot and do this and fade away from the microphone while I was having to hit things. Now I don't have to do that anymore, so I'm excited. But that vacation announcement is much more important. We are going to be together, and that is exciting. We are not going to be recording the show live because we're not ready for that yet. Because it's Isla and family's vacation time, and we don't want to take away vacation time to do a 4-hour recorded podcast. That's absurd.
It's Bart's birthday.
It is Bart's birthday.
It is Bart's week. We are all just crashing.
And yeah. So, one day we will record a live episode, though. I think.
Oh, yes.
Maybe the next trip we can like plan ahead and be like, okay, we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But for now, the world is a crazy place, and we're all trying to do the best we can to stay sane. And part of that is to take some time off and recharge our batteries. And so, as she said, I am also going to be recharging my batteries a little bit, and some nights on the town, some Sikorski / Mackie family outings. That was weird. Not all of that was weird.
One of our favorite listeners, I am partial to her, but one of my best friends in the world, Jessie, will also be joining us with her beautiful family.
Yeah, we it's like a little reunion of a.
It's gonna be a real party. Let's be real.
Oh, it really is though, and we've been talking about it nonstop to each other because we're just like.
But alas, Brookies, that does not mean you will not hear from us.
Correct.
Because an episode will still be dropping.
Yes, because we are responsible community leaders, and we will not leave you hanging as much as we can. We have a plan,
but. This week we will not.
This time we have a plan. So anyway, thank you to the YouTube video followers for seeing all the weird little nuances of watch me scratch my nose 100 times.
It's basically me forgetting that I'm being recorded on video and just acting a fool. So
no, it's usually you researching something I had just talked about while I talk to myself, but which you can't hear on the podcast, but you can see on the YouTube, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's really just you having my back, because then you come in with more information and then it's great. So yeah, I like to spin the posy. We're all a fam here. Anyway, Hi Brookies, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good week since the last time.
Hope this letter finds you well.
Hope this letter finds you well. We would like to remind you about our exclusive Snapchat filter called the Price of Gold. Apparently,
please pick the one that we made and not a creepy man one.
Was it Miranda? Is that who? Yeah. Who found some like make you bald filter or put a goatee on you and
a man.
Yeah, it was really crazy.
She was like, I was just looking for the stay gold filter and somehow I ended up here.
And held us responsible for all of the nightmare fuel that was now imparted on the world. So yes, if you'd like to, please use it. Find it on Snapchat, and you can save it and then send it all over the interwebs, Twitter, Instagram, etc. And remember to tag us so that we can see it, because we would like to call you out for being the beautiful, wonderful Brookie followers that you are.
Yeah, and you just have to search price of gold.
I think it's the price of gold, although it may not make a difference. Okay. I don't know if that makes a difference in the search or not.
It might.
Yeah.
In your little Snapchat filter search bar.
Woohoo. When you do find it, you will see the, what is now going to be the old SBC logo. You'll see SBC in the little bottom circle for like who posted it. So that should tell you that's ours. And speaking of which, we now, for the first time, have a brand new logo. Thank you to Heather Lee from last week for that beautiful drawing she made.
Biggest shouts out to Heather Lee, because it was just so beautiful. And I know we talked about this, but I could talk about this every day because I am just so blown away by her talent. And I know that she's an art teacher, so she does this every day. She's like, whatever.
It's amazing. It was amazing.
Still. And then a huge shout out to Mackie for being able to turn it into our new logo. So now our logo is a little collaboration of just like Brookie Nation minds. And yeah, I'm just really happy about it.
I need to, she did sign the bottom corner of it, but because of how long it was, I need to get the signature from her so I can like make sure it gets
pasted on there. Yeah, like put it on there.
On the actual logo.
It's just so good.
It is so good. And because of that, we were able to now have 2 images of both Isla and myself so that we can use those in other places. Heather was nice enough to share her project file with me so I can kind of break it apart and use it for different things. And so that's what I was talking about. I was able to strip the layers down and incorporate it like woven through our current logo. So check that. I mean, well, I say check that out, but you had to have clicked it in order to get to this. You will probably have already noticed that logo is different on whatever podcast app you were listening to this on. Hopefully Anchor will have distributed that appropriately. We were able to, so we have 2 different logos. We have a short one that just says SBC and a full one that says Storybook Circus, which is the one you saw for this podcast. And I very quietly finished it and then uploaded it, the short version, to the Discord, not thinking anybody would notice, because in the Discord, our icon is very, very small. It's about the size of a little smaller than like a penny, right, on your screen. And the new logo is basically the old logo, but moved around a little bit so that our 2 characters can kind of poke up from behind it. So all that's different is you can see 2 little people, really, really tiny, behind the text. And we had people in Discord be like, is that a new logo? I was like, oh, I really didn't think anybody was going to notice because I kind of did it quietly, but they did.
But
they totally did right away. So we hope you noticed too. And big, huge shout out to Heather Lee in the Discord for that amazing display. So thank you very much, Heather. Very, very awesome. I do a lot of clap sound effects. I noticed my probably top used sound effect in this show. I just keep using the
It's needed.
Horn. It is needed. We do a lot of, we just like to celebrate. We like to celebrate.
Yeah,
things.
This is a party.
This is a party. I should put like really low EDM in the background that I can just hit and have it just like
we should not.
It'll be hilarious. It'll be funny. That's the party that's going on in the back.
But it reminds me of the Monsters Inc. Monsters University like short, the Pixar short that they have where it's called House Party.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That's a really good one. Disney Plus, hit it up. So I guess we should get into our show discussion. So we are on episode 27 of our show. But before we get into episode 4 of season 2, which is a very, very pivotal episode, an episode we've been waiting for a long time to go over, we want to do what we always do and first dedicate the section in the beginning of the show to our listeners called the Storybook Daily Mirror. So the Storybook Daily Mirror, as I said, is the segment where that is dedicated to you, the listeners. You guys are amazing, and we have you doing several things to submit yourselves to the Storybook Daily Mirror. Isla, tell the people what they've won. How do they get into the Storybook Daily Mirror?
It won talking to us.
Hey.
You can claim your prize by emailing us over on the sbcpod@gmail.com, DMing us over on Instagram, the sbcpod, calling our phone number, which is
Haven't said it in a while. 207-536-8512.
If you don't feel like leaving a voicemail on that phone number, you can send us a text message. We are going to read those on the air. And finally, if you want to continue all things discussions of Once Upon a Time, us, yourselves, or literally anything, come on over to our Discord. The link will be in the show notes. It'll be in the description on YouTube, and it will be in our link in bio on Instagram.
Linktree for the win. Not sponsored, because it's free. Yeah, if you want to know how to get anywhere into our, what am I even saying? English words. If you want to reach us on the internet, all of our links are on our Linktree, which is in our bio on Instagram. However Linktrees work. It's just the SBC pod. So, yeah, we have some contributions this week. We always get a little bit different every week, which we really like. That sometimes it's voicemail, sometimes it's text, sometimes it's emails, sometimes it's all three, sometimes it's DMs. I like that we kind of like mix it up. People are utilizing all of the methods to submit themselves to the Storybook Daily Mirror. Well, first we have some text messages. Mostly some quick ones, but it sounds like people were catching up. As podcasts go, not everybody's listening to it like right when it drops. So a lot of people were binging and they were catching up with our season finale episode. Some of these people are people that are coming over from our Patreon, which we have, by the way, patreon.com/the SBC pod, where we put our bonus content. We released last week a bonus content for the end of season 1, where we talked about the timeline and our Brookie Nation map and a whole bunch of other things. And in all of that, we had asked people to tell us what their MVPs are and what their favorite episodes are, as we did in that bonus episode. So we got some submissions for that. Among some other comments. So our first message is from Annika. Annika, as you remember, is from Manteca, California, just very, very sassy. She says, I'm listening to the Lady in the Lake episode, which is the last week's episode, and you guys are talking about ringtones and music playing when you call people. I like that was a big hit of conversation. Like, people really responded to that, which is awesome. She says, I have a client that has Verizon, and when you call, it plays rock music. He's probably in his 60s, and I can't help but giggle every time I call and hear it.
No, that's how I feel when I hear it too.
I love that it's Verizon was like because it wasn't just Verizon. I think it was a few other ones, but Verizon still had it.
Verizon said, please await your Verizon ringback tone while your party is reached.
Yeah.
Then it would start.
They at least warned you. The other ones would just start playing it and you'd be like,
right. So but the Verizon one is ingrained in my brain.
Oh, yeah. As a cultural thing. So we didn't know, like, for not Verizon, like Sprint and T-Mobile and stuff, like the music was just playing and then you didn't know if that was someone recording a voicemail or if it was ringing. So a lot of people would just hear music and assume it was voicemail and hang up when really the phone was ringing. Like, that was a big thing.
Oh my gosh.
Which I kind of wonder if Verizon kind of picked up on that and figured out that they would have to be like, hey, stay on the phone.
Enjoy this Verizon ringback tone while your party is reached. Dun, 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 dun.
But it's crazy that Verizon still has them active up until very, very recently. And might still, I don't know. It brings me back to being in middle school and high school when that was the thing. And if you and you were cool if you had music on your phone, and we would have to hold up our phone to record a song so you could set it as a ringtone, which, yep, that is our world.
So embarrassing.
She then follows up by saying, contributing to the conversation I was talking about, your favorites. Favorite character for season 1 is Regina. When I first watched once, I did not like her at all, but over the years I've grown to love her character, which
Annika,
totally
we love character development here.
Yes, one of our favorite things. Least favorite in season 1 is Emma. Never have been a fan of her. She just tends to irritate me, which is a common thing. It's hard because you got to peel her back to really get to her value, because the face value is abrasive on purpose, because she's supposed to be the kind of one that challenges everyone, and for some viewers that's hard to watch. Red-Handed is my favorite episode. I remember first watching this, I had no idea Red was the wolf, and it was an awesome reveal, and the way they set it up was perfect, which I agree with.
I agree so much. I love that story in that episode.
And the one thing I don't think we did was our favorite reveal. Like, we did our favorite episodes and stuff, but our favorite, twist. You know what I mean?
Right. That's probably my favorite.
I think so, honestly. Like objective, like we already knew it, but like objectively,
because it wasn't cheesy setting up. Like
yeah.
the apple tree at Regina's house in Storybook. You know, like
Right.
we
Well,
get
the
it.
thing is, what did they set up? They set up that she's Little Red Riding Hood, not that Little Red Riding Hood is also a werewolf.
It was so good.
That is the crazy thing, is that they and that's that little bit of misdirection that's really cool, is that they have you with your guard down, because they're like, oh yeah, I've already figured that out. I can move on to the next person, because there's other mysteries to uncover. So once you let your guard down and then you realize you were wrong, or like you didn't have the whole story, it's such a fun feeling for television, especially when you're like, you know, a classic example is like trusting someone that they've already established as a protagonist, and then they like proved that they're not a villain already, and then you let your guard down, and then how many times did you find out they were actually triple, quadruple crossing someone, and you're like, oh, you know, like that kind of stuff.
I love twists in movies and TV shows. There is nothing I love more than when I am just completely like
wrong
on my ass, surprised. Like
I love that too.
When I watched The Sixth Sense, I had to rewatch it immediately after. Like I literally stopped it and I was like, "There's no way." And like so I was like, "We're watching this again."
And for those of you who are maybe unfamiliar with how we are running our Patreon, and I will preface this with an apology because it is still brand new and we're still getting into our routine with putting the content on there. And that preface is to say that our upper tier on Patreon is exclusively what Isla just described. Is we are rewatching Lost, but knowing the ending, right? We are effectively rewatching Lost after having watched the last episode of Lost, and we're like rewatching the whole show knowing everything that we know about the show. So we're talking spoilers, and we're talking like, okay, now that we know these characters, eventually we'll do this. What does that mean, and how they're acting in season 1 and 2? The reason why I prefaced it with a sorry is because we have an episode that's on there, and we stopped it to do other things now, and now we're back. So we're in the middle of recording our Hamilton episode, because we record everything over like 4 days. And then as soon as the Hamilton episode is done, we're then going to pick back up with Lost again. And we have quite a little quorum over there of people who are engaging with that stuff. So we would like to take the opportunity to thank all of you who are over there in Patreon land. We never forget about you. You are very much top of mind to us, and we are having a real blast planning and doing all this extra content for you. It sounds like a lot of work, and it is a lot of work, but we really are. We're doing it because we know you guys like it, and you guys have told us and responded to us and said that it's fun for you to listen to. So we're really, and
we just have fun doing it.
Yeah, it's great. Our next text message is from okay, I gotta read this. Hi, it's Taryn from Texas, aka Tanaran. She wrote that in the text message.
Tanaran,
which I love. Tanaran says, I have a custom voicemail and I 100% suggest you call to hear it. All Harry Potter fans will love it. Did you listen
I saw
to
this text message when it came in, and I was so tempted to call, but then I was so afraid that she was going to answer, and I would have to explain myself, and I did not have the mental capacity to handle that. Like, I literally was like, how do I say, hey, it's Isla. This is so creepy because I know you gave me permission to call you, but it still feels like I don't have permission to call you. And I just want to know what your voicemail is.
Okay, so here's the issue, is that I didn't properly prepare for this. And I would straight call her right now on the air, but I feel like because she's not prepared to also not answer, I don't know if we're ready, unless we want to be spontaneous and just do it.
What if I just call her right now?
Do you want to just do it? Just do it.
Hold on. Okay.
Just do it and be like,
can you read? Oh, wait. I just almost said, can you read me the number? We're not going to do that.
I will not be reading you her number over the internet. I can text it to you, though.
No, it's good. I got it.
You got it? Okay. Guys, we did not talk about this beforehand on the air, by the way. This is happening real time in front of you.
Now I have to double check and make sure the number's right.
Please don't call a random pizza place or something. Hi, this is Storybook Circus. Can we have a large pepperoni, please?
Speaker.
This is very exciting. Oh my God.
It's ringing.
Oh my God, it's ringing.
I feel like I'm prank calling someone.
Hey, did you actually want me to answer this, or did you want to hear my voicemail?
Oh my God, hi. Yes, we want to hear your voicemail, but say hi to everyone.
Yeah,
say hi to the show.
It's so awkward.
Guest star Tanaran. Okay, I'm gonna call you again, and we're gonna listen to your voicemail.
So excited. Oh my God.
Okay, bye. She knew it was me.
She
Oh
did
yeah, she
know
has
it
my
was
phone
you.
number.
Does she have your phone number?
Yes, we text.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I'm such an idiot.
She wouldn't have had mine. It would have been way more awkward. All right, here we go.
Hello, and thanks for calling. The person you are trying to contact is currently unavailable. They received an urgent owl from the Ministry of Magic and left immediately for London. They will, of course, endeavour to get back to you, but we have a strict no-phones policy at Hogwarts, so I cannot assure you of how
And
soon
neither
that may
can you.
be. Please leave your message after the tone. Deputy Headmistress Minerva McGonagall. At the
Yeah,
tone,
Discord is
please
canceling
record your
all of that
message.
as background noise.
Oh, it picked it up on my audio.
No, because your mic is right there. But Discord is noise
Oh.
canceling the background stuff. So if it sounds like background noise.
Well, it was the beautiful Maggie Smith as Professor McGonagall letting us know that she was away and could not get to the phone. So
That's
we needed
fantastic.
to send an owl.
It's okay because I'll get your audio and then I'll put it in the YouTube. So everyone, so I could have just pretended like we heard it and then reacted, but awkwardly then because I didn't hear it real time, I also have to ask what it is.
Oh, right, exactly. So
it's okay.
it was good.
Everybody heard it though, and I'm just catching up. That's amazing. And I love, first of all,
answered.
custom voicemails in general are fantastic, but the fact that she answered makes my whole. Okay, that means we should start calling people on the show. Why not? I think we might be ready for that stage. Like a 20-minute conversation, and we're just gonna. So, guys, what would be great is if we didn't tell people we were gonna call them, and we just called them while we recorded, and like
You just
surprised
texted me.
them.
I hoped you loved it.
Oh my god, I love that we did this on the air. We are the most haphazard show ever. We're just like always.
All right, so fair warning, bookies. We're gonna start calling you.
Wouldn't it be crazy if we were just completely abused the power of you guys texting us and we just randomly started calling you? Okay.
Okay, Tori. We'll gauge it. We're not just gonna.
We're not gonna cold call people for giving us their numbers, but Tanner told us to, and that played out pretty much exactly the way I wanted it to. That's amazing.
That's perfect.
Thank you so
she
much.
Answered. I'm so glad. Okay, that was so good.
That was so worth it. You guys, I just want to stop everything right now and say that you guys make this show so much fun. You really do. The Storybook Daily Mirror in general, the way that you guys are owning this as your own, the way that you're sharing, the way that you're contributing, the way that you guys are also affecting the trajectory of the show. You guys are suggesting names for things. You're having us change things live. You're asking us to do things. You're sending us things. Oh my God, we got custom art that now changed the logo for the entire show. It really does. We wanted to make this something that was not just ours, that belonged to you guys too, and you guys are really showing up and making it your own. And thank you again.
So good.
That was awesome. Like, imagine if nobody listened to this show. We would just be like, all right, so here's the TV show. Watch it with us. But like,
right?
how fun is that? Oh my
And
God.
we're not done.
We're not even done. We still have more. Juju Beans. Juju Beans is always coming through with the goods. Hey, y'all, it's Juju Beans. That's literally what it says.
Message, by the way.
This is it. You ready? MVP Season 1, Henry, !
I read that as MVP Season 1. Henry.
LVP Season 1, Dr. Whale, giant thumbs down emoji. Agreed.
I'm going to read them how I read them.
Thank you. Dr. Whale. Would you like to take the last one?
Fave episode. The heart is a lonely hunter. Cause Graham. Heart emoji.
Heart emoji. Every time I read
we agree with all of these.
100. I think that's actually what ours was too.
Yeah, it's like perfect.
Every time I read the heart is a lonely hunter, all I keep thinking in my head is 1 is the loneliest number.
Is the loneliest number that. Me too.
2 wins. Okay, now I need to write it down in my notebook. You know what the next sound effect we need? I need to go find some kind of twin movie, maybe starring Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger from the 90s.
I was going to... Oh, this is an age thing. We're doing it again.
Yeah, we are. We do it every once in a while.
Because I was going to say Twitches.
Twitches? What's Twitches? Oh no, this is
Tia
depressing.
and Tamara Mowry.
Oh,
Sister.
Yeah. I know sister.
They did Twitches.
Oh, they were like witch sisters. I was wasn't that a? Is it a decom?
They
or
were
was it
twin
like
witches.
Yeah.
They were Twitches.
Yeah. No, I do remember that actually. Yeah, so we just need to. Actually, that's probably better. No, let's do like I want to get a sound effect that just is a short thing. Anytime we have a twin moment, we have to. The the Mowry sisters is actually probably perfect for us. No,
He's over here like, yeah, so Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger in 1902
Yeah,
made
it's
this
literally
movie. And I'm like, well, when I was 4 in 2020,
It's fine. It's fine. We own it. That's our brand is owning our embarrassments.
you know what I did see? This is, you know what I did see on TikTok? These
boy.
twins that are not twins. So basically their parents had them by IVF. Unfroze one of the eggs and then waited 2 or 3 years and unfroze the other egg. So they are technically twins,
But they're
but
different
different ages.
Whoa.
There's like a whole bunch of
So
these.
wait, so with IVF,
twins.
are they already fertilized?
They're already fertilized, yes, and frozen.
So technically they split fertilized.
So basically they put an egg in a sperm and they mix it up in the petri dish and they freeze it. This little embryo.
So it would have split before it was frozen to make them twins.
Yeah.
What?
So then
That's crazy.
Yeah. They just thaw them out when they feel like chicken breast.
Like chicken
It's
breast.
so insensitive. And I love modern medicine and I love that anybody that ever wants a child that cannot have one
Yeah,
the good
absolutely.
old Jesus H. Christ way, that they can do it this way.
We
So
support it. Jesus H. Christ. Oh man.
I think about Juno every time I say something like that when he's like, oh, you mean like kicking it Old Testament when they put the baby in the basket and float it down the river?
Float it down the Nile River. Okay. Did we already say we're going to make that one of our movie club movies?
Juno, it is on the top of my list of
Maybe we'll do
things
that
that I
next.
would like to talk about because it is my if I could pick any all-time favorite movie, it is Juno and Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a really
I
good
know
one.
all of the words to that.
Excellent.
If I was a bird,
I still don't have a bomb dropping, and I still am looking for your XOXO sound effect to put in there too, because we need that. I forget why we were going to use it,
Belle.
but I just need to
I don't
put it
know.
in
I just
there.
need it.
Yeah, it's fine. The last text message we have is from Caroline. Hey, it's Caroline. My favorite overall character in season 1 is Snow because she is truly a badass boss bitch. That's a lot of B's. And takes all the names. My least favorite is Regina because she is such a gaslighter, and even though she has Henry, is still trying to destroy others' lives. Favorite episode is the premiere because it starts it all. Stay Gold and Rumple Homies. So we got a favorite overall character is Snow. Least favorite is Regina. Favorite episode is premiere.
I like this favorite episode is the premiere because it's
I
true. Like I don't think that episode gets old.
Well, I said when we watched that episode that my favorite part about that episode is the fact that we get into familiar territory and then find out that the stories, and we find out after that too, that the stories we thought we were so familiar with and can recite off the top of our heads was not the whole story, or we were being misled. So it did root us in something familiar and then be like, well, there's more to that than you thought, which is a really cool idea. Instead of just saying all this was a lie, you know what I mean? Like it was kind of versions of the truth, which is how stories get passed on from generation to generation. They start to transform, right? Well, what if there was a little bit more to Snow White's story than you had originally read or saw in the cartoon? So thank you for all of your submissions for our season 1 wrap up and giving us and please continue if you think of it later and you want to tell us who your season 1 favorites are, your MVP, your LVP, your favorite episode, your favorite twist. Feel free to call in or text us and let us know because we're kind of, we're all coming off the heels of a crazy journey in season 1. And we are moving forward, but it's always nice to look back and be like, wait, let's take a pause and be like, okay, what did I like? That was really cool, you know?
Right.
So that was our text, and it looks like we have an email. Would you like to take it away?
Yes. So the subject of this email is fine in all capital letters, and I read that as like fine. I'll finally write into you. That's how I'm reading it. If I'm wrong, let me know. Hi, Isla and Mackie. First of all, huge fan of the show and the podcast. I stumbled upon you guys, I think, when you were 2 or 3 episodes in, a couple weeks after Googling Once Upon a Time. Harper Jane said hi. After a couple weeks after Googling Once Upon a Time and getting sucked into a wild rewatch on something I found called Once Chronicle. She linked it.
Oh my gosh, she did.
The
link it.
timeline makes way more sense, but it is definitely crazy. We're going to put that link in Discord as well. Afterwards, my boyfriend told me to find a new show, which prompted me to check Apple Podcasts and protest. Oh, I love this energy. Petty energy. And I'm
Okay,
here for
when
it.
you're done, I'm gonna read what this website is laid out because we need to reach out to whoever this is because this is our people, dude. Oh god,
I didn't realize how fully immersed I was. Oh, she does sign it. Okay, we'll talk about that later then.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how fully immersed I was until your last 2 episodes when you guys were discussing the connections you're making with people, and I realized I had been responding to the things you guys were saying out loud and also listening to you guys when I got ready and did things around the house. Listen, my friends don't get it. The one friend I had that watched it stopped after 2 seasons, which would have been my first year of medical school, which was especially rude.
In all caps. So rude.
So much.
I do too.
And this past weekend, I tried to explain to a group of my friends what I was listening to, and as I got ready for a bachelorette party, and it developed into me attempting to explain Discord to them, and their takeaway being I participated in a Once Upon a Time themed AOL circa 1999 style chat room. This may be too deep of a cut for you, but Maggie, I hope you can feel the pain. Either way, guys, I'm only 31, so calm down, bitches. It's not like I'm asking ASL.
Okay.
Christ.
Pause. This is amazing. Because
I
first
feel like
of all,
I'm reading an email that I wrote.
Yeah, 100%. This is your future. This is an older version of you. I think you actually came back into the past to talk to yourself in this.
I know.
Because that is too deep of a cut for me. Because first of all, I am old enough to have participated in said theme AOL.
Yeah, no, you do. This is how you explained Discord to me.
It is how I explained, and you had no idea what I was talking about.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Okay, I want to talk to because I happen to know that for a long time, our second highest age demographic listening to the show was 0 to 17. I don't know how that worked out. But there's some young people listening to the show. I don't know. There's like 5-year-olds listening. Youth? I don't know. But unless there's like 10 17-year-olds who are also listening, I don't know. But AOL, right? If you really want to go way back, I hope that you've already read enough BuzzFeed articles to understand how the internet worked before broadband internet, right? You had to patch in to the phone line and it would literally pick your phone up, call essentially what is a fax number, and beep and do all these crazy sounds, and then hook you as a network through your phone into everyone else's computer. So you could talk to everybody, you can get email, you can do all that stuff. You had to your computer's not just automatically hooked into the internet. You had to sign in, open up an app, enter your credentials, and then it would pick your phone up and connect you, which means no one in your house could use the phone because it was literally on the phone line the whole time, which was insane that was the process. When you got on there, AOL was the most popular one. There were other ones, but AOL was the big one. And AOL was set up like a hub, right? So you could get your email there. They hosted it. But there was also what eventually became AIM, which was AOL Instant Messenger, was just like a chat on the side where you could directly message one person at a time. And group chats didn't exist yet. So then they found out that this was really popular. And then there's like news you can get to. And it was it was basically like a Google webpage, right? Actually, to my knowledge, yahoo.com is still set up that way, where it's in like modules, right? You have a news page and mail and your own drive and separate stuff like that. So what they did was they created this chat room situation, right? Where now, and you can, it was essentially plugged as like AOL Instant Messenger, but instead of instant messaging one person, you're messaging a whole group of people all at once. And what they did was they created rooms with themes. So there was a beach party and a house party and like people who liked this or that or whatever, general rooms or stuff like that, right? The idea was supposed to be that you were pretending like you were at whatever this theme is. So like there were a couple of popular ones, but I was in always like a beach party one, right? And this is psychotic to talk about now, how nuts this was. Everybody in the room was playing the part. And the way that you would do that is if you were writing out actions, you'd put 2 colons next to each other. You want to see if somebody's old when they type? Because I still do this.
Mackie still does this.
I still do this. If you put 2 colons next to each other and then write something, and it's what I guess we use today is we put 2 stars around something to emphasize something. And even that's not really used that much anymore. If you put 2 colons, you can literally write like In third person, I would be writing like Mackie walks over to the bonfire and sits down. It was the
Stop. I have secondhand embarrassment right now. Please stop.
It was a different time. We're literally talking about 1999. She's right. It was the first time anybody had ever like talked to somebody through your computer. It was crazy.
Like weird sexting, not sexting.
I mean,
really hate it.
so obviously we're all teenagers, right? So what it turned into was people like
No.
getting together on this thing, but it was all fake. It was all fake. Okay, I was freaking out. I love making you uncomfortable with my age.
This is so uncomfortable. Why would people do that?
This ASL thing, if you are unfamiliar,
Oh, I do know what
I know
this
you
is.
do, but maybe someone out there doesn't. It's like, what the hell is this?
It's not American Sign Language.
It is not
Spoiler.
American Sign Language. It's A with a slash, so A/S/L meant age, sex, location. So you had to say how old you were, what gender you were, and where in the world you were. And you can get as detailed about it as you get. You can do your city or generally whatever, or your country. And so anytime you'd end up in a chat, the chat room, by the way, is flying by. All these people are talking to each other. And there was no adding people yet, right? You couldn't like highlight someone's name and directly talk to them in the chat room. You'd have to like shout their name and hope that they saw you. And once you if you went into these enough, you realized there were pockets of people who spent all of their time in these chat rooms. Like they had cliques and stuff. Like there were social circles in these things. There were people who were there all the time. There were a couple moderators who would kick you out if you were doing something weird. There were like group of fringe people who were always coming in and you know, so there was an order to it, the same way that a social interaction would happen in real life. If the same group of 13 people were hanging out with each other all the time, you get into a routine. Well, eventually this ASL thing turned into like, okay, well, we want to know more about you. And then you'd come up, you know, and of course, everybody in this room was lying, by the way. Everybody was saying that they were older than they are. Everybody was saying they lived in some cool place they didn't live in. It was like, you know, everybody's talking about they had tattoos and all this other stupid shit you didn't have. Because it was essentially what your online, it was the first version of what your avatar would be, right? You just made it up. You made one. And these people, they literally would like, they would couple up in this room, Isla. I'm not kidding. They would literally just be like this. So you know how people joke about like my online girlfriend I've never met?
I have the heebies.
This is where it came from. It came from people in these rooms, and you weren't even by yourself. You were with other people watching your relationship, right? Watching you guys talk to each other. And what is your relationship? What is it? You're at a party at a college thing. How do you you go and get your girlfriend a drink. You sit back down. You put your arm around her. You whisper something in her ear, and everybody in the room watches this. How you do that in a chat room is you fucking write all that shit out. You write it out in words. How embarrassed? You think you're secondhand embarrassed? Think about reading from a stranger on the internet puts hand around Heather or some shit, right? Like some random it would literally be in captions what they are doing. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever experienced. And it never came back. It's just evaporated into history.
For good cause.
The only people who know
reason.
about that are people who happen to be in there. And let me tell you something. The rooms had capacities and they would get full. And then you would get bumped out like you weren't allowed to be. And if you got kicked out of the room and it was full and someone slid in there behind you, you'd have to wait for an opening to come back in the room and be like, who kicked me out? It was crazy.
I had Club Penguin, okay? So
I'm trying to set the scene so that you can understand that when someone says you're in a once upon a time AOL themed chat room, they are making fun of you.
Well, now we have to delete our Discord.
Yeah,
so.
The Discord is now over, guys. So the Discord is like that in the sense that you put everybody in a room and you set up some channels, you set up some like lanes, right, for people to be in, and then people just kind of flock to it and talk about whatever they want to talk about. There is no equivalent to that AOL chat room except for Discord. Unless you're like, you have like a Google Hangout and you bring people in, but that's not the same. Like this is literally a real old school chat room, except without all the friggin' creepy ASL vibes. Nobody's ASLing people in the Discord. You know?
I'm going to do it now.
Oh my God. We should actually make it a thing in our Discord to do it.
I'm going to start calling people randomly. I'm going to cold call you while we're recording. I'm going to ask you your ASL. I'm going to make things real uncomfortable.
We're going to bring it back to 1990. So I just wanted to clarify what that meant and how, yes, that is a deep cut. And I still appreciate it because it's true. That's how I was explaining Discord to people when they're like, I don't understand, because Discord's for gamers, right? It's just for gamers to talk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but you can use it in this really cool way to get people together. And I think everyone's over the creepy ASL vibes now.
Yeah.
So we can continue.
So anyway, your podcast makes me so happy because I finally get to listen to people discuss my favorite show in a more positive light and in depth in a way I was ashamed about before.
See? But now
Never
do you see
again.
the shame though that comes with this? This
I have
kind
a
of
million things
attitude?
to say, but I guess now that I've decided to finally be a part of it, I'll keep it short. But one, the whole time you guys talked about Carmen Sandiego with all the black but one white dude a cappella band, I couldn't help but think of Malcolm in the Middle, and Bryan Cranston did it. Google it. It's gold. I think it's called The Gentleman Called Singers.
Yeah.
MTA. I love Malcolm in the Middle.
The Gentleman
And
Callers
Jane
Singers.
Espenson, who I also agree is my queen. She was a writer on the first half of the first season of The OC, which was just the best season maybe of television ever. She's a hero and we can't appreciate her enough. Okay, longest email ever. I'm embarrassed again. Love you guys though. Rocks, aka Red8 on Discord. And oh yeah, I'm from Chicago. Roxana is her name.
Chicago.
P.S. Last thing, on another podcast I listened to about another favorite show, they got a few big guest stars on because a friend bought them a cameo, and the star they chose loved the concept so much she donated her time, and it snowballed from there. Just saying. Okay, either way,
Ooh.
stay gold, stay rumble.
Do we have to buy a cameo for ourselves? Is that awkward? Is that weird? We'd be like,
I'll
hey,
buy one
say
for
hi to
you.
me. Oh.
But I'll
That's great.
participate.
No, I like it. Okay, so the Cameo is if you don't know what Cameo is a service that celebrities are on, or well, there's various levels of celebrities. I'll say that, but random celebrities are on there, and you can basically buy a personalized message. So I used it a couple years ago because Taryn's obsessed with Ryan Cabrera. So you just put in an application, you say who you want it to be, and then you say either what the message is or like what you're telling them to tell the person. So for her, it was for her birthday. So I was like, it's my wife's birthday, and he actually lives in Florida, not too far from us. So he's always here like doing stuff. So he was at Epcot, and I was like, you were at Epcot, and we didn't get to like come and meet you. And she's like, my wife's a big fan and whatever. And so he like recorded a video, like a selfie video, singing happy birthday to her and just being like, next time we should meet and blah, blah, blah. It's like, whatever. It's like a celebrity personalized video. And this is becoming a really big thing now, like a really hot thing everybody's doing because it's easy access to a celebrity for a price. And obviously different levels of celebrities are slightly more expensive depending on how, busy they are. But a couple of friends of mine recently did a cameo they are in like a Lord of the Rings kind of little club. They play games and they do book readings and all that other stuff. And it was one of the girls', I think, birthday, if I'm not mistaken. And she collected money to get a cameo from, what's his name? Charlie, the guy who plays. God, what's his name?
Yeah.
Those two dudes. Yeah, I know. My brain just went.
That was the loudest motorcycle I've ever heard.
Yeah, the guy who plays the two brothers in Lord of the Rings. Whose name escapes me right now. I know people are shouting it angrily at their radios right now. But they got a cameo from them, and then they were trying to get multiple and all this stuff. And so this is not actually the first story that I've heard of someone, starting up awareness via a paid cameo, because it's an easy way to just get directly to a celebrity without like hitting their DMs and knowing that their agent's just going to delete it or something. You know what I mean? So it's actually, it's kind of a cool idea. And we could potentially do that multiple times.
Right.
Listen, if you would like to donate your money towards this cause, patreon.com, because that's what we would use that money for. Honestly,
Literally.
We would use that money from Patreon for stuff like this. Just like, let's just buy some cameos and see what happens, see who hits it. Or if nothing else, we get a cool message from somebody from the show.
Yeah, we get a cool cameo. I mean,
like,
it's not
how
for
cool would it
nothing.
be to go find Eon Bailey wherever he is now and be like, hey, we're like drooling over you for the stranger. Can you just say hi to the Brookies?
Right.
Oh my God, hold on. We are going to get the word Brookies in the mouths of actual people from this show. Because all we have to do is pay them.
Just say hi to the Brookies. That's all we need.
That's all we want you to do is just. But then we would have to explain what the Brookies are and be like, so we have this podcast. That's how we do it. And eventually one of them will listen to this episode and be like, I was conned. They planned it on the air.
You did it, girl.
Rox is always going to get the credit.
Sparked a movement.
If this happens. Especially Jane.
Also, your email was perfect. I've said it before and I will say it again. Where have you been?
Seriously?
We've been talking our ears off for 27 episodes now. Why are you showing up right now? I mean, I'm glad you showed up right now.
We're so glad you showed up. You sound like our people too.
Damn.
I like that
We've been missing out.
We attract people that are like us. I feel like pretty much
Cool
everybody,
people.
guys, you're the cool ones. All of you are cool. You're super cool. I always wonder about that because like I guess you just the energy that you give off is like the stuff that people are like
The vibes.
yeah they want to be comfortable with
Z?
people who are like them with a Z. I forgot about that. Vibes with a Z, ladies and gentlemen, is not necessarily uncool. Take it from me,
Super cool.
an expert on vibes,
The vibes.
And the inappropriate use of the letter Z. I'm stalling because I'm literally looking up whether Jane Espenson is on Cameo. I was just trying to stall time to see if, and it's currently looking. It's looking right now. While it does that, though, I think this is a great idea. I think, Roxana, you are amazing, and we are extremely happy to have you on board. We're happy that you joined the Discord. We're happy to have you as part of the family. The deep cut of AOL chat rooms aside that sent me off into a giant tangent. Everything about this entire email made me super comfortable and feels like you've been a friend for ages, which I'm finding is a common pattern in a lot of people that we meet. We have Jonathan and Heatherly, and we already knew Caroline. That's kind of what we wanted to make. And this chronological order page, can I put it up there? Hold on. I think I can make you, well, it won't matter because you can't read it. By the way, update, Cameo did not give Jane Espenson back. I'm sure the other people are on there.
Jared Gilmore is on there.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm looking up Josh Dallas because through Josh Dallas we're gonna get to Guinea, and then she's gonna find out that we call her Guinea Good, and she's probably not gonna be happy about that. It's out of love, I swear.
There's a lot of them.
Did you just look up Once Upon a Time?
I searched Once Upon a Time actors in
Get out. Mine isn't loading.
on Cameo.
What I want to share.
So we got some
tell
good
us the
ones.
deets. Tell us.
So we have Raphael Sabarge,
Okay.
Jiminy.
Great name.
Some of these we haven't seen them yet.
Okay, Raphael Sabarge would be great because he's awesome.
Yeah.
And
Andrew J. West. Oh, he's okay. I know who he is. Kristen Bauer.
doesn't sound familiar. I'm sure I would know him if I saw him.
I think she plays Elphaba.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my God, David Anders.
David Anders.
Guys, we're gonna get Dr. Whale.
Oh, that would be rough. That would be rough.
I'm so sorry we hate your character, but I do love
he's
Blaine
great,
from
though.
iZombie. And I love you.
And he's in
So-
Heroes. He's Adam something or other in Heroes. He's awesome.
Jared Gilmore, Lee Ardenberg.
Oh, he's great too. Wait, is Jared like 30 years old?
He looks pretty old.
Actually,
Looks like my cousin.
he would be awesome
I know, right?
because we're like the biggest Henry stans.
Emily DeRaven.
Get out, Australian Queen.
Oh my
And we're doing a
God.
Lost thing? Okay, we need to make this happen somehow. We need to make this happen somehow. Mine is not loading for some reason, so I can't see their faces. I want to call out this chronological link that she put in here, that Roxana put in here.
Oh my gosh. So Jared, hold on. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. No, go on.
No, you're fine.
I was reading at the same time that you started talking. His bio, Jared Gilmore's bio on Cameo is I played Henry on Once Upon a Time and now I'm streaming on Twitch.
Get out.
His name, let's jump right into it.
Get out of here. What is it? Is he a gamer?
Yeah.
That's wow. Good for him. Staying with the times, bro. I mean, he's the right age, so. You know who else is on Twitch all the time that I
Wow.
enjoy, that I just watched last night for the first time because he's busy, obviously. Huge Twitch streamer, gamer, like aggressive gamer, plays Apex Legends. Your Disney friend and mine, Jordan Fisher, ladies and gentlemen. The singer.
Really?
Oh yeah. He plays with like crews and stuff on Apex, and he has like usually, honestly, every single time over 1,000 people in his room watching him every single time.
Oh my God.
He's got a great little setup. He got braids now on the top right here, the two braids, and yeah, he looks great. He's awesome.
I love him.
He's fantastic. Another one that I feel like so close to being able to, because I'm like 2 degrees away from him, because I know one of his singers, and I can never get in. Ladies and gentlemen, Harper Jane. She is making regular appearances now. We love a good Harper Jane.
You fell off your bike. Okay, you're so tough.
She's great.
She fell off her bike.
Yeah, but she's not crying and she's standing here
She's
telling
good.
you.
No, she just wanted to tell me.
That's. Oh, guys, everybody needs to be a little bit more like HJ. Let's be honest.
I agree.
Be honest. Okay, so I wanted to call out this chronological website. It's called Chronological Once. We will link it and wherever our links are. So I just wanted to read you a little bit of the attitude of the person writing this website, which I suspiciously think is Roxanne. Because it sounds a lot like her. What caused this project to exist? It says, watching ABC's Once Upon a Time over multiple seasons, I started to wonder what the series would be like and how watchable it would be if I arranged the series in chronological order instead of the crisscrossing timelines and flashback stories format of the normal episodes. The show obviously had physical and cosmetic changes to all the principal cast over the years, so I was further curious if these changes would be glaringly obvious or if the story would feel linear if it were made to be so. First of all, also great writer. I really like how this is like written. And then there are these panels, right? So there's I actually will put this up here so you can see what I'm working with here. So there's these panels, right? This is a very nicely made website. Very, very
yeah.
beautiful.
Wow, this is pretty.
We got like pictures on the side, and then you have these little text boxes. So we got a picture here of Charming and Snow out of the Once Upon a Time book, the storybook. And then the right caption says, "What exactly do you do?" It says, "With the help of guides like the Once Upon a Time Wiki's timeline, I went through every season and picked apart its scenes to move them so it would each form a self-contained story." Scenes, not even episodes, like because the episode is kind of both. So he actually pulled out scenes here, right? So the next one is again Charming and Snow. It says, "Did you change anything else aside from the simple linear edit of the show? At my own discretion, I removed or altered certain other parts of individual stories or character arcs, removing some altogether. There were various reasons for this. Some were continuity. In the pilot, Snow remarks that the queen poisoned her because of her beauty, although the show later tells us that this was a different motive. I removed all this inconsistency and others like it to help the story flow better." The next one is of Emma and Henry, and it says, "Do you have too much time on your hands?" And the answer is, "I have a full-time job doing video work. Thank you for asking." Next panel. There's so much sass in this already. How do I watch?
I love this.
As of the writing of this, you can watch the chronological Once Upon a Time series by private Google Drive link. I highly encourage you to do this if you own or have access to a. Okay, I highly encourage you to only do this if you own or have access to a legal copy of the series through Blu-ray streaming. Following this recommendation, I will help ensure that the House of Mouse doesn't shut this project down. Chronological Once Upon a Time does not currently affect the market value of their series and falls under fair use, which is true because you recutting the show, like rearranging it, does fall into fair use because now you're creating a new thing.
Right.
So it's technically original art. Like when fans recut a show to make like a fan story, falls in fair use.
You hit your toe?
You're just a mess, girlfriend.
Oh no.
It looks like roughly 100 hours of seasons 1 through 6. This project is really massive. It looks like they started 2019, not that long ago.
Oh wow. So it's fairly new.
Yeah. Unlike a project unlike despecialized Star Wars, if you want to download luckily if you don't want to know, this is just like details. But like, yeah, the project is really, really massive. It looks like January 30th, 2019. And then it's just a few links. And then you go to a drive, a Google Drive, and you follow the links along. This is very cool.
Yeah.
If you've already seen the entire show, I would recommend this. This is awesome. Looks like there's even posters for oh, look at that. We need to do a little. We need to do a little tag teaming. We need to do a little research and find out who runs this site. And
yeah, because this is really cool. We want to look into this more.
I would love to sponsor it too, and like not sponsor, endorse it on the show,
right.
and point people who are listening to our show to it or something like it, because we have constant conversations about the freaking timeline in this show and how it's so weird and difficult to follow, you know. And I'm trying to like read on the wiki, and it's just like, so that's kind of I really like that. Roxana, just a plethora of great contributions in this email. Not just your wit, and humor, which makes us laugh. Your pettiness to your checking Apple Podcast in protest. Gotta love that. That is very much how we do things.
Yes.
Yeah. And is closer to my age, so I feel a little better. Slightly. Anyway, that's oh my god, that's our Storybook Daily Mirror. Yay!
That's it, we say, as we just spent like an hour and something on that.
Yeah, no, that was I will never stop saying every episode, and you can get mad at me if you want to, but it's my favorite segment of the show. Honestly,
It's the best.
it is the best because I've seen the show already. I've seen these episodes, and talking to it with you is really fun, and that is a new experience for me. But having total strangers share with us what they do is just another level. Maybe I haven't hit social media fame to know what this big head is like, just to have people like coming in and helping us with a project like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. This
Like influence,
as we all know.
Oh god, hey girl, hi. You good?
Just vibing.
Sure. We can't hear anything because it's
She
kind
can't help it.
What is she vibing to?
Oh, she just told me she had a cookie.
Oh, atta girl. Cookies are great.
It's an Oreo.
We should have a Harper section on the show.
I know. This whole show is the Harper show.
Just
today.
like thoughts with Harper.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I don't have no idea.
Cool.
Anyway, to the pre-show.
To the I think we were talking about strangers. Oh, our influence.
Oh, I've
not
never
being
been a part of
large.
anything, so this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, like, I wonder if this is what people with like the special magic number of having over 10,000 followers on Instagram feel.
Is this what your wife feels like?
I guess. Although now she's getting harassed by people who like
Ugh.
want to be her best friends. Yikes.
It's me.
Spoilers, Isla's constantly bothering my wife. That's not
It's
true
true.
at all. No, we are talking every day though. because we need to keep each other sane and healthy mentally. And
Yeah.
so we send each other weird pictures of things to find on the internet. Mostly TikTok because we hate it. Well, I hate it. I hate it.
I love it.
No, Isla loves it. And Isla's also kicking ass. By the way, let's just put out there for a second that Isla's TikTok is amazing. I think
Thanks.
you're Isla's coursing in there too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go find Isla's TikTok because it's hilarious and fantastic. And
Thanks.
I loved your humor a lot, by the way.
Thanks.
I have one, but I don't participate because I don't understand how it works. And I'm just a little bit too old to.
A lot of people do that though, so it's okay.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about it. I'll eventually, if I figure it out, then I'll get on board. My friend put one up, and he's like, "You should do this one." And it was a photographer. Large flat brim hats are like a big thing in the photographer community. It's mostly people making fun of wedding photographers, which I find a little rude and kind of mean for no reason. Because
Yeah.
like they have, that's like the style is not that bad. It's not like they're wearing fedoras. Like let's be honest.
Right.
So large flat brim hats. And he said you wear a large flat brim hat, and apparently one of the trends right now is the Drake. I've been running through the six with my woes, whatever.
Oh yeah.
So you do that and you whisper it the first time, and then in the caption you put in all caps, you just repeat the same thing. And the caption
Yes.
for it was, "I only became a photographer because I wear this flat brim hat." And then you just say it twice. I've been running through the six with my woes, and you just, that's the whole thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. It's
Thanks, but no.
I don't want to be disingenuous. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta feel it, and like that humor is weird to me, and I don't think I'm funny enough for that. Like that's not the way that I'm funny. I'm funny in some other way. Like I was watching some of my Instagram stories, and like the way that I make fun of myself, I think is would be more appropriate for
Yeah.
TikTok. I just have to figure out how to package it.
Right.
I don't know why I treat the show like therapy. I don't have to talk about any of these things. We have a show to run, and people are like, "Why are you babbling?"
This is the show.
This is the show. Season 2, episode 4 is called The Crocodile. I should have preemptively maybe made like a TikTok sound like Peter Pan, but I didn't do my homework. So you'll just have to settle for this.
Fine. This is great the way it is.
The Crocodile character backstory is Rumpelstiltskin. Actually a pre-dark one and post-dark one character backstory for Rumpelstiltskin. And, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, James Tiberius Hook. That's not his name. That's Kirk. James Tiberius Kirk. But his name is James. James something.
Yeah.
I
But
remember.
Captain Hook.
Captain Hook is the first appearance of Captain Hook. We've seen a lot of promos, a lot of teasing, but now we're going to get into his storyline. I'm so excited. October 21st, 2012 is when this aired, written by David H. Goodman and Robert Hull.
Ampersand Robert Hull.
Robert Hull. That means they worked together on it. I forgot what David H. Goodman did. Let's look at that real quick. Because David H. Goodman and our director are both repeat directors. Because the director is David Solomon, which we know has done quite a few things. So looking here, David Solomon did Price of Gold, and David H. Goodman did Price of Gold. So we got two Rumpelstiltskin repeaters. That's kind of cool. David H. Goodman, and the next time that he showed up was ampersand Liz Tigelaar, right? Who did True North. So that was Snow and Hansel and Gretel, sorry, and the Snow and Charming. Let's see. That was the last. Oh, Dreamy. David Solomon did Dreamy. Oh, and David H. Goodman did What Happened to Frederick by himself.
Oh, okay.
So they are pretty. Oh, okay. Okay, now I need to know who David H. Goodman is, because the next time he shows up, this is number 4 in one season. Number 5, he has 5 of them. Number 4 was with Vladimir Kvetko. That was Hat Trick. He's a writer, remember. And number 5 is An Apple Red as Blood with Jane Espenson. So he's probably also a friggin' producer, I assume.
Yeah.
Let's see. David H. Goodman. I'm just curious. David H. I want to see what they bill him as, because he does both. An executive producer. Look at that. They've just given out executive producer titles like candy over at ABC.
Yeah,
right now.
wow.
What is up?
Another one.
He is somebody who did Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was the script coordinator for Buffy. Left the show in the 6th season, did Angel, which is the spinoff to Buffy. And then Batman spinoff Birds of Prey. Some other random things that don't stand out. Fringe, that was a J.J. Abrams project. So a lot more, it looks like more producer credits than not. So this is, I think, people who write, then they become executive producers, and when they feel like subbing them in, they stick the producers in a writer role, which would make sense as to why they are ampersands a lot. And then, I mean, he did do one on his own, but you know, it does make some sense that they do that. David Solomon directed, I think, 2. Last one. So, but very important to note that they were both for that first Rumple episode. Looks like 9.45 million was last week, and this episode 4, is 9.89 million viewers this week. So they're steadily.
Everybody else was excited about Hook too.
Yeah. Oh well, they did a lot of promotional work on this, so I'm sure everybody wanted to see what the hubbub was about.
Yep.
Synopsis, Belle's discussed. Oh, so this is mostly a Belle and Mr. Gold, obviously in Storybook, since we're doing Rumpelstiltskin, right? Belle discussed over Mr. Gold's continuing thirst for power comes to a head, which they've been a little bit, tense about that this whole time, about him bringing magic back to the land and whether or not he's going to give it up for her. She apparently threatens to leave him if he can't change his evil ways. The 7 dwarfs in Storybook pick up their axes and try to find fairy dust in the Storybook mine to combat the magic. And a reunion with an old acquaintance could prove to be Belle's undoing. That's exciting. Oh boy, I don't know who that is.
I wonder if it's Regina.
Oh, could be, yeah. An old acquaintance. Yeah, it'll make sense. I always assume they're going to bring another stranger in. Back in the fairy tale land, Rumpelstiltskin attempts to save his wife Mila from being kidnapped from a band of, you guessed it,
Ooh.
Cutthroat pirates.
Pre-Dark One. Mila, the wife that left.
Yeah, so this is pre-everything. This is actually going to go back further than we have gone back before. So, yeah. Let's see. Now we get into our production notes. Production notes is when we talk about behind the scenes features of the particular episode. So here's a deleted scene. Rumpelstiltskin returns from home from his encounter with Killian Jones. Oh yeah, that's right. His name is not James in this. It's Killian. To find Balefire asking where his mother is. So he comes home and Balefire's there, and then Rumpelstiltskin tells his son that Mila's dead. As Bale, that's not a spoiler, don't worry. As Balefire bursts into tears, Rumpelstiltskin comforts the boy and tells him that he will never let anything happen to him. The reason why I say that's not a spoiler,
he did let something happen.
He did,
so.
yeah. The reason why I say it's not a spoiler is because we already heard him tell Bae
that she left.
That she was gone. No, I think he actually said that she was dead in the.
Oh, really?
I think so, because I don't think this is the first time that. So, and that's probably why the scene was deleted, because this is actually. Because in the scene that I'm talking about, he references that he already told him that you know your mother's dead, or she's gone and she's not coming back, and all that other stuff. So I think this is when he actually breaks the news, and they just cut it from the show, which really becomes quite irrelevant. So, and he gets lost anyway. So, but I think the idea that he's like, oh, because your mom is gone, I'm the only one you have, and I'm never gonna let anything happen to you. Obviously, you do. So we didn't need that moment in this spot because the timeline is backwards. It's, there's no mystery here. You definitely let something happen to. The opening title card is or at least features the Jolly Roger, infamous ship of Captain Hook, even in the novels. We got some cast notes here. This is the first episode in which Jennifer Goodwin, Jennifer, God, I hate this. Guinea Good, Jennifer Morrison, and Lana Parrilla do not appear. They appear only in credit. But a photograph of Mary Margaret and Emma is presented in Storybook. And I said this from last week. Thank God we don't have to go back to that story for now, because we're gonna do Hook. Remember I said we were gonna have to deal with them. Turns out they're not even in it. So I mean they're referenced, but they're not gonna be.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
give it a break for a second.
Story.
We're gonna backseat that for a moment.
The last episode brought up some feelings.
We need a minute.
Emma is a controversial character. She will continue to be a controversial character, but this is really the beginning of when we as a group are going to start splitting off from our opinions of these characters, because it's going to start getting controversial. So
yeah,
buckle up, everybody. It's okay. We all love each other. It's fine. Siblings fight, but it opened up a little bit of a can in the Discord, in case you're wondering what I'm referring to, which is totally fine. Everything's fine. But I'm actually, in a morbid way, a little bit excited, because it means we're getting to the juicy stuff. We're getting to the stuff where not everything is sunshine and rainbows. It
means people are passionate about it, which I think is important. Whether those are good or bad feelings, I mean.
Yeah, and it's
a conversation.
That's one of my favorite things about it, is that it starts a conversation, and because people are passionate about it, it turns into a very robust conversation where everybody from every side is actually bringing up really, really good points that we never considered, because we have our own perspectives on it when when we talk about it here. Sorry, and
I will do the next one.
Thank you. I can't hide that I'm texting my wife.
According to Edward Kitsis, the reason why Rumpelstiltskin does not want to leave the village is because he, despite the fact that he is the village coward, is afraid to leave his home village and travel out into the big wide world. I don't think that that's a despite the fact. I think that solidifies that he is the village coward.
I think so too.
He's afraid to leave the town. You know what I mean? Like, of course he's not going to leave. He's afraid to do anything.
I agree. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that feels like, like something that proves his character instead of
exactly. I don't think that's a despite the fact that he's okay, yeah.
Because really, I think he's trying to say that him not wanting to leave the village, makes him. Because if he was the village coward, he would want to leave the stigma of the village coward and go start again somewhere else.
But he can't, because he's the village coward.
But if he's a coward, he's not just the village coward. He's just a coward in general, which means he's going to be afraid of everything outside the village as well.
And then we go on to cut content, a scene or segment featuring an illustration of Belle in the Enchanted Forest wearing the yellow dress from season 1 episode Skin Deep was planned for the episode, but it was never filmed. Ooh.
Yeah, I really liked that
laziness.
I really liked that one a lot because
laziness. Get to it. An asshole.
I really liked the allusion to. I mean, I know it's never filmed, but I like the allusion to, again, that the show very much made an effort to make you familiar first. Like, this is the last thing you saw, or this is the thing you remember, and then like change it from there, which is kind of cool. Because then we're not just telling a different. They're very clear about they're not telling a different version of the story. They're telling your version of the story that you were told wrong. And these little visual things help lock that in. of
Yeah.
the like famous yellow dress that she would be wearing from the
Right.
ballroom.
And then we do some timeline things, which we're not going to really dive into because it's a lot. The first part of the story, where Rumpelstiltskin is not the Dark One, occurs after Devil's Due and a few years before Desperate Souls. So it's in the middle of a really long time ago.
Yeah.
And then the second part of the story, where Rumpelstiltskin is the Dark One, occurs after The Return. So again, they're just placing these in the timeline. We went into it pretty in depth on our bonus
In our
content
bonus episode,
on
yeah.
Patreon.
And everybody was
if you're
really
at all
confused.
interested. It's a lot. So again, they're just telling you like where this particular story lands in the big story.
Yeah, the only
And that's
reason
it. Long time
I
ago.
really put that in there is because it was relevant that the first part of the story, when he's not the Dark One, is because we meet his wife, which obviously at the time that we've met him so far, she didn't exist. So the only reason that that's relevant is because this is now the furthest into the past flashbacks that we're going. This is actually predating the earliest thing we've seen, which is cool because we keep pushing further and further back into history. So Devil's Due, Desperate Souls was when we saw right before he became the Dark One. This episode takes place a few years before that. Devil's Due is a season 5 episode. We'll see when we come back to this moment later, but it doesn't matter right now. But the second part, when he is the Dark One, it occurs after the last thing that we saw of him as the Dark One. Obviously before Regina, because that was hundreds of years later. When we're talking about Rumpel's origin story, this episode takes place both before the first thing we've seen and after the last thing we've seen. So this kind of bookends all the stuff we saw from his origin story. That's the only part that's really relevant.
And then Mr. Gold offers Belle some breakfast, but she declines. After their fight, Gold knocks at Belle's door, telling her to at least come and eat something. Oh my gosh. So
I love this one.
Similarly, in the Disney film Beauty and the Beast, when the Beast makes Belle eat dinner with him, she refuses, claiming not to be hungry, prompting him to storm over to Belle's room and bang on the door, ordering her to come out. If she doesn't eat with me, she doesn't eat at all.
She doesn't eat at all. That's like a really famous scene from that movie. And I love that it's echoed here and that, you know, we kind of made these allusions to Belle is from Beauty and the Beast, and that Mr. Gold / Rumpelstiltskin very much is the Beast. You know what I mean? I really like this very physical version of that. It's so cool.
This episode introduces Belle's love for books, obviously, as Belle is known for, literally.
Yeah,
and her running the Storybook library. Oh my gosh. In the original version of Beauty and the Beast, Gabrielle Suzanne Barbeau de Villeneuve.
Yeah, none of this stuff is important. It's really just that she loves it's so that's the original novel.
Oh, okay. Beauty loves reading and is happy when she comes across the Beast library while exploring.
Yeah, like that was the originally where this whole her like that she was, oh my god, a library and books, and that's what they put into the cartoon, and that, you know, that she was always borrowing books from that guy. The whole point of this is just like we in this episode in the live action. Yeah, it's all yours. Is that this is when they start to bring that into this version's Belle's characters, because she's going to start running the library, which is cool. I don't even know if I would have thought about that. I would have just been like, and it says in this episode, Belle is given access to the library card by Mr. Gold, who is the cursed counterpart of Rumpelstiltskin, also known as the Beast. This is where they actually point out that, like, in Storybook, he is her Beast, which I think is fairly obvious. I mean, you're doing great. Please continue. You're awesome.
So we have some hidden details. Mila's home is full of drawings of landscapes reflecting her dreams to see the world. She does, probably, when she ditches her entire family.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily know that the drawings of landscapes, feels like a weird indirect version of it, because drawing of landscapes is not like I want to be a world traveler. Maybe I just like landscapes or drawing, like whatever. I was like, that's a little bit of a stretch, but I mean, interesting.
Some more cut content. Originally, the episode contained more material, which focused on Mila's talent for drawing, which was cut from the episode. According to writer David H. Goodman, Rumpelstiltskin's drawing of Balefire was made by Mila. All right, we're giving her so much context.
A lot of this drawing stuff,
she just doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's the thing about the drawing, is that, like, apparently there was more in it about her drawing, and that's why the landscapes would have been important, and that according to the writer, that drawing that he had tied to her, which gives him another connection to her too. But this is one of those things where, like, when you cut content like that, it's hard, because all of those things don't mean anything anymore because you
Mhm.
cut out the reason why we would care. So now we're just like, oh, it's just some paintings on the wall. We have to move on. But I mean, I guess they have to cut what they have to cut. Whatever.
And now, second to the Storybook Daily Mirror,
Yes, our favorite.
my other favorite segment of our show, brand info.
Oh my God, here it is. I found it.
In Belle's dream, she is wearing a Marc by Marc Jacobs wallflower jersey dress. When she wakes up, she is wearing a vintage lace dress by Gold Hawk.
Gold Hawk. Wow, that's beautiful. Apparently, the next day, Belle changes into an Armani Exchange lace fit and flare dress, again, no longer available, sad face, and a pair of Gucci Betty platform open-toe sandals. Dress for success. Okay.
Emily DeRaven wore this dress again at the Emporio Armani New York flagship opening in September 2012.
Oh my goodness, life imitating art? Love it. Belle, in the show, wears the same shoes in some random season 4 episode we don't care about. Thanks, Wiki.
And the same shoes were worn by actress Zoe Saldana at the 2012 Children's Defense Fund Beat the Odds Awards in Los Angeles, December 2012.
Guy, Armani got their money's worth out of this,
Yeah, wow,
outfit,
for
man.
real.
Holy crap.
Jails.
Let's see, Ruby. Ruby is wearing an Urban Outfitters Nom de Plume by Yaya Chris Western tipped shirt and a a Yucca stud stretch bracelet. None of these things are no longer available, so whoops. Ruby wears the bracelet again in the cricket game, which is an episode we haven't seen yet.
The stud stretch bracelet was also worn by character Arya Montgomery on the Pretty Little Liars episode, The Lady Killer. I love that one.
That's really cool. David's jacket, which he continues to wear throughout season 2, is known as a B30 Dallas leather jacket. And was custom made by the Vancouver-based company Ocean Drive Leather. Is the Ocean Drive Leather the same one that made Emma's custom jacket
Yes,
and called it the Emma
And guess
something or
what?
other? It is. Ding, ding, ding. Available for purchase on the company's website for a hefty price. Boom. Ocean Drive Leather's like, they're capitalizing on this. I like it.
Hook's pirate necklace was designed by the Vancouver-based jewelry designer Bloodline Design and can be ordered via their Facebook page.
Wait, what? I will literally do that right now. I love that. At the end of the episode, Belle has changed into a Kenzo window check sleeveless shirt, a Kenzo box pleat skirt, and a pair of Jimmy Choo sepia kidskin Napa color block platform pumps in the black nude colorway. All 3 are no longer available. Sad.
And that wraps up today's episode of Brand Info.
Oh my God. That's the furthest into that audio track we've ever gotten. There's like a fun theremin going on at the end. I kind of like.
And now the shortest segment of the show. What's in the hatch? What's in the hatch, Mackie?
Nothing's in the hatch because there are
None.
no lost
No
Easter eggs in
references
this
to Lost.
episode. Which is sad because I kind of miss this segment, man. Like, what's in the hatch is so fun. I
We
mean, I'm
haven't
sure
had
they're
it in a
gonna
little bit.
they're gonna go to Regina's house, which is 108, and we'll ring it anyway. But like, there's no specifics to this episode like new ones, so no Geronimo
Right.
Jackson, no weird and other things. Anyway, that is our show pre-show, and so now we get to watch the episode. But we always like to let people know about the features of our watch party. So we have a drinking game that we play, and this is the bell that alerts you to take a drink. If you ever hear that sound, then you know to take a drink of your choice. It can be tea or water or an alcoholic beverage if you are of age. I'm talking to you, 0 to 17 people. I know you're here.
I know.
So the rules we kind of make up as we go. You heard Tanner Ann's beautiful voice on the podcast today. Not even for the first time because she sent us voicemails. But she has come up with a very beautiful page that we have put into the Discord of some of the drinking game rules, but we basically make them up as we go. And if we remember the ones that we put together, then we use them. So that's the drinking game. Belle, this is a little clink, kind of a cheers, knocking your bottles together. It's like a little tip of the hat to some of the things we've talked about in the production notes, or maybe a reference that we made in Storybook Daily Mirror up until this point. And then we also have a sound that goes along with me starting and stopping the episode. Sounds like that. If you hear that, then that means I am pausing or playing. So just know that, if you are syncing your play watch along with us, then you know that you can stop. We also have one of our favorite things that we like to do because we talk over everything, and sometimes we need to go back and we need to re-listen to stuff. I would say probably one of the most familiar voices on the show. There's like you and me, and then there's like everybody who does
and then
voicemails.
This familiar voice.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
It's so familiar. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know. Kind of sounds like Will Smith. Guys, it's Will Smith.
It might be Will Smith.
Will Smith tells you that it's rewind time, and when it is, then we will shortly rewind and investigate something or rewatch something.
Let you actually listen to what they were saying because we were talking over it.
Because we were like we always do. And those are we have a plethora of other sound effects that we like to bombard you with during the show, but those will be a surprise. So now we will watch the show and we will listen out for the biggest drink moment of them all, which is the
chug.
The chug moment. It's the reference to the episode title, The Crocodile. It is I was wrong, not a rat at all, more like a crocodile. I lost my
What if
sound
I
effect.
told you I spaced out at one point and I came up with a new segment?
What? I love this. What kind of new segment? Tell me.
You know how we were talking about how we were going to start prank calling Berkeys?
Yes, like a little while ago.
Well, I
do
was
remember
thinking
that.
about how this could play out and how I would want it to be done. And I have come up with the perfect idea, and it is going to be Billy on the Street style, and we're going to be calling it Brookie on the Street. Where we're just gonna, we don't have a microphone to throw in your face, but it's going to be your phone ringing, and it's us on the other end of the line.
Oh my God, that's crazy. And what's cool is if we call people and they don't pick up, then we just go to the next person. It's not like
Yeah, and so this is completely unhinged.
I love it.
I might be
though.
losing it, but
You are, and I like
Brookie
it.
on the Street. Here we go.
Brookie on the Street. I'm writing this down. This is great. I love it. Okay, so here maybe. Okay, this is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the staff meeting that we hold during every episode, where you get to listen to us make up stuff about the show. So during the staff meeting, I would like to propose that we can also call them from the Google Voice number. That way, they have already, like, they'll know who it is. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
I
they've
didn't know
already
we could do
texted.
that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Okay.
it's a real phone number. So I'm pretty sure you can call a number and then use your, like, the microphones that we're using right now. We can use these to talk through and just patch it through the system. And I think, if I'm not, I don't know why we didn't just call Tanner in that way. I'm pretty sure it patches through all the recording and everything, so we can record their voice. And we have to do like the radio. We'd have to be like, "Hi, you're being recorded on the air right now. Is that okay? Can we talk?"
yeah.
We have to do our legal disclaimer. All right, Brookie on the Streets. That was an impromptu segment creation, live in your face right now. I wrote it down in the book of SBC notes. So
Oh,
now we
awesome.
have to
Sick.
do
All
it.
right, great. Thank you, Billy Eckner, for the idea.
Maybe he can be our first cameo. I'm sure he's on there. He's amazing. All right. So what is this? Season 2, episode 4, The Crocodile.